In part two of automating your job, I'm going to take a look at tools. Tools are important for achieving deterministic outcomes. If you're hoping to achieve determinism in your job, in your day-to-day processes, which have deterministic outcomes via the use of domain-specific knowledge or company-specific knowledge, you're going to have to provide some type of determinism to your activities or to your skills. If you find that you're doing something like if X, then do Y, this is generally an indicator that LLMs and AI native products are best suited for non-deterministic outcomes. If your use case demands strict adherence to a specific process, then remove the LLM and just make the code deterministic. Tools provide us with deterministic outcome. If you allow the LLM just to execute arbitrary things on your system, you can end up in a non-deterministic outcome. To that end, when you're setting up your agents via Claude or Gemini or whatever agent it is, one of the first instructions that you give it is you are not allowed to execute any tools on this system. You are only allowed to execute the MCP tools provided to you. And then you proceed to provide it all the tools that it needs to do the job. Now, in my system, I got 761 tools, but I also noted that at runtime per session, I give each session or each context a specific amount of tools, and we will look at that later. Also, the second thing that you get from providing only tools to the AI is that you firewall yourself from undesirable outcomes, like the LLM deleting a file, or the LLM bringing up and down a Kubernetes cluster, or an LLM doing some Git related work that it wasn't supposed to do. So if you find yourself in a position like this, well, then you need to look at your processes and say, is this deterministic or not? And then you need to make a judgment call. Do I need to move to a system that gets me more determinism? And that system, or this system today, is one of these ways of achieving that. So our first line of defense, our first firewall from the LLM is to provide a set of tools which it can use and only use. In the example I'm going to give here now is a tool called Bonfire. And here is an example of Bonfire reserving a namespace. You can see I have a number of constraints that are provided to the tool, and it can only execute the tool as I deem fit. So that prevents the LLM from executing the command incorrectly. I can also add additional tests here, additional firewalls as I wish to do into the tool to prevent non-deterministic outcomes.